Okay, hi everybody. My name's Peter Greenwall. Are we seeing me? Are we live? Are we ready to go? Who are we speaking to? I'd love to welcome you all into the beat of life. As I said before, my name is Peter Greenwall, and I'd love to know who's there and who's talking to. Let me know who we're talking to, because today we're going to be talking about beating the burnout. It's the beat of life. It's all the bees from burnout to a breakthrough. I'm a musician, composer, and I'm going to share my screen with you so that we know we're on. And we are ready to go. Today is all about burnout, the breakthrough. So we're going to learn a song. As you can hear the piano, as I said before, I'm a musician. And the first song we're going to be learning to sing is that everything is all good. It's all good, everything, you've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in, everything, it's all good, everything, you've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in. Are we starting to learn to love the mess you're in? Okay, I'm Peter Greenwall. I'm from Mindful Revolution. And today we're doing the beat of life, from burnout to breakthrough, from discontent to content. This is very exciting. And we're going to be using a material that I've invented called WTF. You've probably heard of this before. Why the fail? It stands for why the fail, not what you were thinking. That's my big breakthrough. Hopefully, over the next 30 minutes, you're going to be able to come up with your own breakthroughs as we analyze the emotions that are associated with burnout and use them all as material for innovation for your breakthrough moment. What are the symptoms that you're feeling in your burnout? I'd love to know in the little box if you can tell me. I'd like to break them. I would like to help you break down this burnout and all the symptoms you might be feeling with some questions. What type of questions are we going to be asking? We're going to be asking anxiety-based questions. Everything that's bothering you in this burnout, in the discontent, we're going to use it all as material to make things up. In fact, there can be no creativity without first figuring out what your discontent is all about. So the key takeaway from today, if you learn nothing else, just this, is that it's all good. And that's going to be the first song that we're learning today. It's all good. Here are the lyrics. Everything, you've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in. Everything. Can we try this with a little music? Okay. You're going to come up with your own revolution. Start something new. It's all good. Everything. You've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in. Everybody, let's try this. Let the problems be your inspiration. It's all good. Everything. You've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in. The uncertainty, the noise. Are you listening to the voices? It's all good, everything, you got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in. Everything, let the pain be your inspiration. Come on, let's move. It's all good, everything. When you learn to love the mess you're in. Woo! We're feeling good now. If you can get up off your table, do it and cut it. How are we feeling? Are we feeling okay? So you've got mixed emotions right now. You're not sure if you're feeling okay. The music made you feel good, but you also have to analyze all these WTF moments to break down, to build up content. So let's deal with some of the stress points that you may be feeling right now. Maybe it's in the workplace. Maybe you're tired of having to be nice all day when you really don't give a crap. Has this ever happened to you? You're most welcome to, oh, you're feeling great. Okay, that's good to know. I'm so happy to hear that. But there are many times when you don't feel so good at work, in the workplace, And you're forced to be nice. And the reason this is, why the fail, is some of you come up with great ideas, but you're unable to express these ideas because you've got a boss at the top and he's saying no questions, no arguments, we'll do things my way. Has this ever happened to you and you're unable to express these ideas? So you sit there with a happy smile on your face, and what happens is you could snap at any moment and you end up singing this song. You smile for your salary. You follow the man at the top. You're free to do exactly as they tell you. Oh, I could make life easy, yeah, but they don't pay me enough to care. I only know what they tell me, and that changes daily, and though I don't think that it's fair, when you need to avoid being unemployed, you put up with the crap that they tell you, and you smile for your salary. You follow the man at the top. You're free to do exactly as they tell you. Has that ever happened to you? This is because you have a top-down organization, and as we know, all organizations are shifting to bottom-up, or at least flat. There is no more organizational structure. Everybody is allowed to express their ideas freely on any level. So that's the way we're going to be correcting that. What's your go-to solution when you're feeling stressed out in the workplace? I'd love to know from you. Let's use the famous keep calm and what? What is it that makes you just feel better in life? Life is better when you surf. Keep calm and trust the universe. Do you see good in all things? That's the message. That's the takeaway from today, is that it's all good and you're seeing the good in all things. Perhaps it's delusions of grandeur that make you feel a lot better about yourself. What's your keep calm and know your options? Eat, sleep, fortnight, repeat. Maybe it's the gaming that you're into. Maybe the answer to your specific question is wine. The good news is that music, dancing, and singing lessons are about to become doctors' prescriptions. So you may be prescribed this particular workshop when you're feeling down, when you're having some kind of burnout. Doctors may be prescribing me to deal with the stress that you're currently going through. So here's another song I'd like you to teach you the lyrics for. It's about dealing with your stress, and the words are, and hopefully by now you've stopped what you're doing, so that's the first word. You're going to take a good look at your life. The only time you stop is to worry. So let's try this. Stop what you're doing. Take a look at your life. The only time you stop is to worry. Go. Are you going where you want to go? No, you're always in a hurry. You're so busy. You're so busy. Ooh, you're so busy. But busy doing, what are you doing? Take a look at your life. Second line. Only time you stop is to worry. Go to the fourth line. Go. Are you going where you want to go? No, you're always in a hurry. You're so busy. Sing about it. You're so busy. Ooh, you're so busy. But busy doing what? What is it that you are so busy doing? Now's the time to stop, chill out, take a good look at your time, and figure out time ticking away, putting a deadline on you every day, but you just don't get too caught up in it all. Let's sing that line again. Time ticking away, putting a deadline on you every day, but you just don't get too caught up in it all. You're not getting caught up in it all. You're just chilling. You're coming to your senses now. You're in a quiet place. You're embracing the uncertainty. You're clicking mindfully.
Stop what you're doing.
Stop what you're doing, and you're just breathing, doing nothing, chilling in a very, very calm place. You're doing Tai Chi. Thank you, Anonymous. You're chilling out, and you're just taking a deep breath with nothing going on. Good. How are you feeling now after singing and dancing? Are you okay? What's your WTF moment that we're trying to analyze right now? Because that's really where innovation comes from. Here's my definition of innovation. Innovation is the translation of your WTF moments, your why the fail, all the chaos that's going on around you, all over the world, in your immediate neighborhood. We're translating all these WTF moments into products, better systems, art, music, as I'm doing. Whatever your thing is, you're going to be translating your emotions, those WTF moments, into better systems in order to feel better. This is about happiness. That's what we're doing this for. So how do we do that? We break things down with your anxiety-based questions. We're asking disruptive questions as we are making more things up. And that's all creativity is. Do you notice that the WTF has a question mark and an exclamation mark, which are the components of the process? So we still need discontent in order to create content, which is what we're doing here today. So take your anger, move it over to entrepreneurial ideas. That's why I've coined the phrase angerpreneurship, because that's essentially what innovation is all about. We're taking these negative thoughts and making them valuable again. So it is all good. Do you want to sing the song again? It's all good, everything, you've got this. When you learn to love the mess you're in, are you starting to love the mess that you may be feeling? It's all good, everything, you've got this. Learn to love the mess you are in. That's your big takeaway. If you learn nothing else, this is it. We're moving from burnout to breakthrough, through the beat, through the rhythms, through the music. I'm excited about this stuff. You know what I do? I'm a musician, composer. I'd love to know what you do. Could you sum up your life so far in just a few words? Could you put your best foot forward or your worst foot forward? I don't mind. I'd love to know what your story is. And it must be simple. Just 3 words that say that you could put on a t-shirt. Do you know who I am? Well, yes, you know who I am. I'd love to know who you are. 3 words that say, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a boss, I'm sweet but psycho, I wear black, I love dogs, I'm a software engineer, I'm kind of a big deal. What's your 3 words that fit on a t-shirt that make it say, that give us a little bit of an insight into what your story is? You're American, British, South African. What is it? This is how we move from burnout to breakthrough with a disclosure of some sort. Okay, we have to disclose something about ourselves, something about the mess that we're going through. And this is what makes you quite funny. I'm a hot mess. What's happening here? In fact, we're going to pieces without falling apart. You had a vision board before COVID. And now suddenly that vision board's gone out the window and you've pivoted to something else. What have you pivoted for? What's going on between the big dream and where you are now? I'd love to know what your hot mess is. I'm still single at 32. I threw a party, nobody came. Hey, at least you tried. Bad choices make a good life. That's true. What are the bad choices that you're making? Everything I'm not made me everything that I am. This is a good one. Everything you're not. I'm not a dentist. I went to study dentistry. I'm not a dentist, and now I became a musician and a composer. That's really what my destiny was. Everything I'm not made me everything that I am today. I'd love to know why, or what are the choices bad choices that you might have made, or everything that you're not, because whatever happened, you are here. You are exactly where you're meant to be right now. This is the place. So think about that. Whatever happened in your life, you are exactly where you are meant to be right here. No one is normal. So are you keeping a failure wall? Are you learning to laugh at those things that you tried that didn't happen? Are you learning from them? Are you listening to the messages contained in these failures? Are you ready to relaunch the fix, some kind of pivot? That's one of the key words that we've learned from COVID. Is that the spin-off, the pivot is where you're heading now. Keep track of your failure wars, because sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. There is no losing, it's just learning. So what's your rejection story? I'd love to hear a few words about what your rejection is and what happened. You published a video, nobody liked it. You published a workshop, nobody came, nobody's going, nobody's interested. You failed somehow. You can't finish any of your songs. I'm a songwriter struggling with burnout or stress of anxiety of writer's block. What is your failure story, and how did you turn that into a book that others could relate to? In other words, what happened to you? This is how we deal with the trauma. This is incidentally a title of Oprah Winfrey's book. It was called What Happened to You. So this is a place where you put in your particular flop star moments. I wrote a musical about all the songs that nothing ever happened to, and I published this at the Edinburgh Festival, and this was a hit. It toured West End. It was called Flop Star, and I'm going to perform one of the songs from there. It's about the frustration of writer's block and about disappearing into anonymity. Don't pretend you know who we are. We're the undiscovered underdogs from nowhere, and we've only got 2 songs, and this isn't even one of them. 2 songs, nobody knows who the hell we are. You can tell we're seriously pissed off about something. We don't know who it is, but you can tell it's something huge. So bang your head like you know what's going on, just like you understand our frustration of coming up with only 2 songs, and this isn't even one of them. 2 songs, nobody knows who the hell we are. Yeah. Let that frustration go with a scream, with an ah, as that song ended. The frustration of obscurity, disappearing without anybody knowing who you are. All that became material for this particular song. How are you feeling now? Are you okay? I'd love to hear any comments, to know that you're listening, that everything is all good, that you're tapping into that discontent in order to break things down, to come up with your own content, whether it's better systems, art, music, therapy. Remember, it's all good. We're breaking it down to come up with more material as we work through the burnout to come up with breakthrough. Let's sing it again. It's all good. Okay, we're not going to sing that. But the message is you're seeing the mess as an opportunity. We're singing hard. That's right. We're seeing the mess as an opportunity. So this is you. This is your life. No matter how much you love your life right now, there are random idea generators. The client, the boss, the bully, the jealous friend, the government, what the decision. It's a big mess. And you have to figure out that this shift is happening for you, not to you. Big difference. It's happening to show you that you need to invent some kind of thing that takes the shift away, whether it's a law, whether it's a pill, whether it's a book about all the cuck that's going on, whether it's a song. It's very tragic news headlines that we're going to make up. I read the news today. Oh boy, he blew his mind out in a car. That becomes a hit. We're all on some kind of long walk to freedom. What is it? Because all products and processes are born under stressful conditions, like diamonds. So tell us what your stress is and how you're seeing this mess as an opportunity. If you look at the worryometer, you'll note that the innovation zone is happening in that panic worried space. It doesn't help to bury your head in the sand and to chill out too much, because nothing really creative happens in that zone. To make everything okay, we've actually got to function as a highly functional paranoid, says Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs, or Woody Allen. He's particularly known as a neurotic. So thank God for all the issues that are going on around you, in your country, in the world right now, because we're going to tap into all of them. In other words, if you're out of whack right now about something, you are right on track. Have you started figuring out that you need to see this worry as an innovation? Let's look at the neuroses behind improving the processes at Starbucks. What are the anxiety-based questions? Will they get my order right? Well, that little question led to the labeling of the coffee cup to say what it is. The other question might be, how will I know if it's mine? Well, it'll have your name on it. Who do I blame if they get it wrong? That would be register 4. David is responsible. Right, so we're using our anxiety-based questions to figure out a better process. So in the block, in the events, in the Q&A, you may want to tell me what process you're worried about and how you really figured out how to improve that particular process. We are turning discontent into content. Like, I don't know who's calling me right now, so I'll invent Truecaller on my phone. You see how this works? The unknown, the uncertainty becomes the stimulus for wanting to make everything okay by inventing a system of identifying the caller. So the anxiety is the origin of all your bright ideas. I think you're getting this as your takeaway from today. That's the message. Your toddler screaming. Take a YouTube video of it, and suddenly it becomes a funny tantrum on YouTube and gains a viral hit. Or your kid's crying and you haven't figured out why. Collect all these moments. The real reason your kid is crying is because he broke his cheese in half. If you collect these moments, they become useful. There's your book title. Figuring out what's going on inside the diaper leads to an invention called diaper text, and you can tap into that and realize that the contents of the nappy is normal, the type of what's going on in there. All of these inventions come up from, you've just invented the Owlet baby monitor, by the way. So you are detecting, collecting, and connecting. This is another key takeaway. Detecting the anxiety, collecting multiple components of it, and connecting them to create your special thing. Can anybody tell me what this WTF moment is all about? What question might this person be going through as he searches for his bag? This is an anxiety-inducing moment. WTF, there's a powerful moment that's happening there. It's a news flash. We have new entertaining WTF moments that's happening. It's a random idea generator that comes from a stressful event. WTF, what's the question that's asking? Where's my bag? That's self-awareness. That's becoming aware of something that's missing in your life. Social awareness is when you start realizing that the same thing is happening to other people. This is when you experience what's called the cock-up, the center of confusion inside a universal problem. Now we can tap into an innovation reference point to tap into a tracking device using inspirationalism. That's somewhere between inspiration and plagiarism, is a halfway zone where we copy other people's ideas to make them your own. And you discover that you can invent a luggage tag system that tracks your bag so you know where it is and you can chill out and you've made everything okay. You have moved from an area of burnout into an area of breakthrough. That's the idea. And then you discover that that thing has already been invented. So it's time to pivot. You invent the same thing to figure out where your child is or where your dog is. And it's a dog color, or it's tracking your wife to know where she is. Do you know where your partner is right now? Probably not. The key message here, the key takeaway that we're learning from anxiety-based questions are that if you're out of whack, you're right on track. The inspired man bolts out of bed at 3 a.m. to jot down a new idea or a new worry. It's a worry. It's an anxiety. I'd love to hear from you if you are angry or if you are wanting to scream or let out that moment, because the worry monster loves eating your worries. I love this little toy from a toy shop where you write down your worries and the worry monster comes along and eats it hard. Key takeaway from this is that it's okay to not be okay. That's the big takeaway. That becomes a Barbie doll, which sells out shortly after launch. The struggle is real, people. Notice other people's struggles. What's going on here? She's trying to figure out what wine to buy. Are you wondering which wine to try? Is the anxiety-based question that we're tapping into. That becomes a new product. Or I have no friends. I'm not connecting with anybody. Or they're not attendees in your conference and you're figuring out why this is happening. Or you have too many friend requests. The struggle is real, people. Deal with what happened to you. The title of Oprah's new book, Conversations of Trauma, Resilience and Healing. Trevor Noah was born a crime. Trauma is the string that binds us. So the more you put it out and share it, the more you can connect with other people. The trick is to detect, collect, and connect these moments to put it into your thing that you are creating. Uber invention was created out of the frustration moment of an entrepreneur who couldn't catch a flight from Orly Airport, so he invented Uber. What happened to you that you will use as inspiration? Broken but beautiful. Okay, we are broken as we decide what it is that we need to eat for a dinner. The struggle is real, everybody. It's just a matter of what burden you have. Every man thinks that his burden is the hardest. So what are your struggle with, for example, as writer's block? It's difficult. So what I'd like you to do in this song is to deal with the symptoms of what you're going through in writer's block and just figure out, I wish I had something to say that would make you stop and think and go, what? No way. But I got nothing. Zip, haven't even got a clue. As I stand here talking to you, I'm just making it up as I go along, so I can take you to the catchy part of my song that goes something like, wake me, shock me, shake me out of my stupid zone. We need a little bit of heavenly inspiration. Why, oh yeah, wake me, shock me, shake me out of my stupid zone. Tell me something I don't know. Why, oh yeah, wake me, shock me, shake me out of my woo. How are we feeling now? Okay, we could be feeling depressed. I'd like you to label that. Broken but beautiful. What do we call that depressed state of mind? Well, it's got a name. It's called depression. Okay, so now we know how to deal with it. You can take a pill. It's called Sodator. Or perhaps an apple just fell on my head, as Isaac Newton might have asked. That's what happened to him. He thought, I will call that gravity. What happened? Gravity had always existed. He just never had a hashtag for it. So once he named it into existence, it was called guessage. But as soon as people start to enjoy this and people like it, your guessage turns into knowledge, and you've created something that can be shared with the world. Why do I feel bored at work? Well, that's called a bore out. It's got a name, so we know what it is. It's called bore out. So now we know how to deal with a burnout. Perhaps you're not connecting to the internet. It's also got a name. That's called discombobulation. Have we all suffered from discombobulation? Of course we have. It's the worst possible nightmare, especially in a Microsoft Teams conference. It's a common experience that's just waiting to be labeled. That we can turn into art. They lied to me. There's no Wi-Fi in our room. Who lied to you? What's the disappointment? Share this disappointment. Question is, will the suffering ever end? And the answer is, of course, no, it will not. You know the feeling. You're doom scrolling. We need to give these feelings, these unknown feelings, a name. So let's do that as we plan our last song. Take a listen to how we can create your story. Based on the fact that you never are happy with you as you are. We're making up a story just to get you in the store with a little good times, pretty faces. We're selling happy days. Whatever we think of, oh, you're gonna love it. With the kids and dogs and sound and light and glamour and goods and sizzling sex. Oh, we'll get our message to you somehow. Label your confusion, give it a name, give it a catchphrase, give it a song. End on a big note. Label your confusion, give it a name, give it a catchphrase. Label your confusion, give it a name, give it a catchphrase, give it a song. That's it, people. That's it. You're welcome to applause. Go mad, scream, shout. A little bit more even. Go mad. Let me hear that applause. Yes. Thank you. I'm loving this. Thank you. Yes, I heard that. Amazing. Thank you so much. I should get up and take a bow. Key takeaway from that moment is to give it a name, give it a catchphrase, and give it a song. And that's just what we've done. And that's how I'm going to leave you, as we've given all our confusion a wonderful song and a story. And I'd love to hear from you. If you can tell me how you're feeling after that little workshop, and then I'll know how what that applause was all about. Because I heard a lot of applause. So it'd be interesting to know how it is that you're feeling. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Peter Greenwall, and that is our session that hopefully you figured out now how to move from burnout into your wonderful breakthrough. Go write those breakthroughs, go put them down, and I look forward to seeing you guys again pretty soon. That's it from me, Peter Greenwall, over and out.